Hello, moneymakers. Recently, I have been looking for some unique perspectives to work on the finance niche. Finance has one of the highest RPMs on the entire platform, which means creators earn way more money per 1,000 views compared to almost any other niche. And that's why it's one of the most crowded niches on YouTube as well. So, a lot of new YouTubers and my students asked me how to do something different in this niche. They had a right concern. So, I started digging. How to make yourself stand out in the finance niche. That's when I found these unique channels that use monkey characters to explain economics, or the ones with crayon-style animations that break down complex topics so simply that literally anyone can understand them, and those channels aren't succeeding by accident. They discovered formats with almost no competition and combined them with topics people genuinely want to click. It honestly blew my mind. I couldn't stop wondering why the idea had never crossed my mind before. However, after hours of research on this, I finally cracked how they create these kinds of videos only using AI. And in the next 15 minutes, I am going to show you the exact process of how you can create these videos, from ideation to script writing to visual generation till editing, and replicate their success, step by step. So, now let's grab a cup of coffee and let's get started with the most important question. Topic mining. The real game isn't just making finance videos, it's making finance videos that people are already primed to click on. And there's actually a systematic way to find those topics instead of just guessing and praying. The first method is searching broad keywords like finance on YouTube and then opening up every channel that appears in the results. Doesn't matter if they're huge or tiny, if they're ranking, they're doing something right. Then, you go through their videos and look for the outliers, which are the ones that performed way better than everything else on their channel. And those outliers are like little gold mines because they tell you exactly what topics have viral potential. You write down those topics, then you move to the next competitor and repeat the same process, and after you've done this with 5 or 10 channels, you'll start seeing patterns emerge. But here's where most people screw it up. They take those exact outlier topics and make the exact same video, which means they're competing directly with content that's already out there and already getting views, so their version just gets buried. The smarter move is understanding why those topics worked and then creating your own unique angle on the same idea. And that's where the second method comes in, which is trend jacking. Trend jacking means piggybacking on something that's already famous, like making a video called The Wolf of Wall Street Scam Explained Like You're 5, because people already know The Wolf of Wall Street, so they're way more likely to click. And once you understand this pattern, you'll start seeing it everywhere and realizing it's not cheating, it's just a smart strategy. AI ideation. Now you might be thinking, okay, I get it. Find outliers and use trend jacking, but how do I actually come up with unique topics that aren't just copies of what's already out there? This is where most creators either run out of ideas after 3 videos, or they keep rehashing the same tired topics everyone's already covered. And that's the fastest way to kill momentum before your channel even gets started. The solution is using AI tools like ChatGPT, but not in the lazy way where you just ask for video ideas and take whatever it spits out. You need to use it strategically. What you should do is copy the well-designed prompt that I have prepared for you in Prompt Doc, paste it into ChatGPT, and specify how many topics you want. Let's say 10, for example. And it'll generate completely fresh ideas that nobody else is using yet. To get this, just check the link in the description, which will guide you to my community where you can find my separate course and coaching program on YouTube, Automation Growth with AI, with premium resources, proven prompts, step-by-step systems, and insider strategies that I don't share anywhere else. You'll also get direct access to me, weekly live calls, and a network of creators who are building channels just like you. If you're serious about growing faster and don't want to waste months figuring everything out alone, this community is the shortcut. You can find the link in the description and join today for $199 only. So anyway, even though all 10 ideas you get might be solid, for your first few videos, you should still lean on trend jacking because that's what gets you traction fast. So go back to your competitor's channel, figure out which format is performing best, like the Explained Like You're 5 structure, then you take that format back to ChatGPT and ask it to generate topics using that same structure, but with different angles. For example, instead of copying someone's video about Switzerland going bankrupt, you ask for how countries go, Bankrupt explained like you're 5, and now you've got a unique topic that still uses a proven format, which means you're not copying, but you're also not reinventing the wheel. Just think about it. If your video is about Luxembourg, most people won't click because they've barely heard of it. But if it's about China or India or the US, curiosity kicks in immediately, and they want to know more. That's how you combine smart topic research with human psychology to create videos that actually have a shot at going viral, instead of just sitting there with 0 views. Script engine. Alright, so you've got your topic locked in, but now you're staring at a blank screen, wondering how to actually write a script that doesn't sound boring or robotic. The script is literally the foundation of everything else in your video. So, what you need is a tool that can handle long-form content without cutting you off halfway through, and right now, Claude is one of the best options for this, because even the free version lets you generate scripts that are as long as you need them to be. I'm talking 1-hour scripts, if that's what you want. You take your script writing prompt, paste it into Claude, replace the placeholder section with your actual video topic, choose your target length like 8 minutes or whatever, and then just let it run. The script it generates is going to be pretty solid right out of the gate, but you're not done yet because you need to paste it into Google Docs and clean it up a bit. Delete any headings or formatting you don't need, smooth out any awkward phrasing, and make sure it flows naturally when you read it out loud. Because if it doesn't sound good when you say it, then it definitely won't sound good when your audience hears it. A lot of people skip this step and just use whatever the AI spits out, and that's why their videos feel lifeless and generic. But if you put in just a little bit of effort to polish the script, it'll make a massive difference in how engaging your final video feels. Once your script is clean and ready, you've got the blueprint for everything else: voice creation. But the script is just text on a screen, and you need to turn it into an actual voice that people want to listen to. This is where a lot of creators either spend a fortune hiring voiceover artists, or they use terrible text-to-speech that sounds like a robot reading a grocery list, and both of those options are just not sustainable if you're trying to grow a channel quickly. The tool I use is Google AI Studio because it's free, and it actually generates pretty natural-sounding voices. I know some people were running into errors with it before, but those issues have been fixed now, so it works smoothly. Just paste your entire script into the tool, then copy the voice instructions from your prompt doc and paste those into the voice instructions section, and after that, choose a voice from the available options and hit generate. One thing to keep in mind though, is that the longer your script is, the longer it's going to take to generate the voiceover, so if you're doing an 8-minute script, you might be waiting a few minutes, but that's fine because the quality is worth it. Once it's done generating, download the file and give it a listen, and you'll probably notice there's some background noise or slight imperfections in the audio, which is totally normal. Now you're ready to move on to the visuals, which is where things get really interesting. Custom visuals. This is where most people either use boring stock footage or spend hours hunting for images that kind of match their script. Stock footage is a big no. On the contrary, the smarter way is to generate custom images that perfectly match every single sentence in your script, and the process for this is actually pretty straightforward once you know the steps. First, you take the prompt for images from your prompt doc, open a new chat in ChatGPT, and paste it in without changing anything. Then feed your script to ChatGPT in 3 parts, and it generates an image prompt for every sentence. Once you've got all those prompts, you need to actually generate the images, and for this, I use Filmora's AI image generation feature because I'm already going to be editing in Filmora anyway, so it makes sense to keep everything in one place instead of jumping between a bunch of different tools. Just go to Stock Media in Filmora, scroll down to AI image, paste your first prompt, and choose the Nano Banana model because it gives sharper, more cinematic results that work really well for storytelling. But here's the part that most people completely mess up. Before you generate all 70 images or however many you need, you have to create your main character first and lock in that design. Generate a strong, clear image of your main character, download it or save it as a reference, and then every single time you generate a new scene, you upload that character image in the reference panel so that Filmora knows to keep the same face and style throughout the entire video. If you skip this step, your character will look completely different in every scene, and your video will feel disjointed and unprofessional. But most creators skip this because they don't have too much time to invest. And if you are one of them, I totally get you, and I have the solution for you also. I created my done-for-you program so you can delegate all the heavy lifting to us and only enjoy the outcome. If you want, you can hire my team and me to create videos for you. We are already running 10 to 20 YouTube channels, and AI Mask Man is one of them. These are real channels, real uploads, real results, and instead of you figuring everything out, we handle the work for you by choosing the right niche, setting up your channel properly, creating videos in formats that are already proven, and overall, building a system that can scale over time. I have added a link below where you can book a free call with me. We will talk, understand your goal, and see if this makes sense for you. No pressure, no fake promises. Now, let's get back to our video. Cinematic motion. Right now what you have are static images, which are fine, I guess, but the first minute of your video is what decides whether someone keeps watching or clicks away, so you can't afford to be lazy here. What you need to do is treat the first 6 or 7 images differently by adding movement and animation, because that's what grabs attention and makes your video feel dynamic instead of like a slideshow. After you've generated all your images, drag the first one to the timeline in Filmora, then repeat that for the first 6 or 7 scenes, and now you're going to add a cinematic zoom effect to each one. Click on the first image, go to the Animation tab, click Customize, and add 2 keyframes, one at the very beginning and one at the very end. At the second keyframe, you increase the scale to around 115 or 116%. What this does is create a smooth, subtle zoom from start to finish that feels cinematic and professional, and you repeat this exact same process for every single image in your video. The key here is keeping the scale value consistent across all images, because if one is at 115% and another is at 130%, the movement will feel random and distracting, but if they're all the same, it looks intentional and premium. This one simple trick makes your video look 10 times more polished, and honestly, it's the difference between something that looks like it was thrown together in an hour versus something that looks like it was crafted with care. Once you've animated your first batch of images and arranged the rest as static visuals, you've got all the raw materials you need to start editing. Precision editing. Editing is where a lot of people panic because they think it's going to be super complicated, but honestly, if you use Filmora, it's pretty straightforward because everything you need is already built in. In the timeline, import your voiceover first and drag it onto the timeline before anything else, because your voice is the backbone of the entire video, and everything else revolves around it. Then, listen carefully and start removing unwanted silence manually. I know some people use automatic silence detection, but that can make your voice sound rushed and unnatural because it removes every single pause, even the ones that give viewers a second to breathe. What you want to do is zoom into the audio waveform, see the gaps between sentences, use the split tool to cut out the long pauses, and delete those sections while leaving the natural breathing room intact. If you want, you can trim silence more aggressively in just the first minute because that's where retention is most critical, but after that, you can relax a bit. Once your audio is clean, import your video clips, drag them onto the timeline above the voiceover, and arrange them according to your script. If you get confused about which clip goes where, just keep your script open on one side and your video generation tool on the other so you can match everything up visually. Before you start syncing properly, mute the original audio of all your video clips because you don't need random background noise interfering with your narration. Now you play the voiceover. Pause at the end of each sentence, split the video clip at that exact moment, and move on to the next sentence. You repeat this process for the entire timeline. It takes time, but it creates a clean, professional flow that makes your video feel intentional instead of sloppy. Polish layer. After your visuals are set, you need to generate captions using Filmora's speech-to-text feature. Select your voiceover track, let it generate automatic captions, then review them carefully to fix any spelling mistakes, and choose a simple, clean title style that's easy to read on mobile screens. Remember, most people watch videos on their phones now, so if your text isn't clearly readable on a small screen, you're going to lose a chunk of your audience right there. Once captions are done, you add background music from Filmora's built-in library. Search for something that matches the tone, like cinematic or documentary. Drag it below the voiceover on a separate track, and reduce the volume to around -20 or -30 decibels so it doesn't overpower the narration. And if the music is shorter than your video, Just copy and paste it across the timeline until it covers everything. Then apply a fade in at the start and fade out at the end for a smoother finish. Click Magnet. Now your video is almost done at this point, but there's one last piece that a lot of creators either ignore or completely half-ass, and that's the thumbnail. The thumbnail is just as important as the video itself, because it's the first thing people see. And if your thumbnail doesn't grab attention in about half a second, then your video isn't getting clicked, no matter how good the content is. What you should do is open our prompt doc, copy the thumbnail prompt, paste it into ChatGPT, replace the placeholder with your actual video topic, and run it without changing anything else unless you want a different style. If you want a detailed image prompt instead of a direct image output, mention that before running it, then copy the generated prompt and paste it into Filmora's AI image generator tool again and generate a few variations. If the first thumbnail looks too simple or boring, go back to ChatGPT and tell it exactly what you want changed, like more contrast, bold typography, or dramatic lighting, or you can even visit a competitor's channel. Download a thumbnail you like, upload it to ChatGPT, and ask for a similar style customized for your topic. This helps you maintain a proven design structure while making it unique enough that you're not straight up copying someone. After you've got your final thumbnail, download it in high resolution and upload your video to YouTube. When you get to the audience setting, select No, it's not made for kids, because if you mark it as made for kids, YouTube restricts certain features and reduces discoverability. And for altered content in most AI-assisted videos, you select Yes, set the language to English, choose Education or How-To for the category, and you're basically done. Now your Filmora edited video is fully optimized and ready to compete, and honestly, if you followed all these steps, you're way ahead of most people who are just winging it. Sum up. Emphasize the easy-to-replicate angle. You can slightly strengthen the contrast. These videos may look like they require a team or complex tools, but with the right AI workflow, creators can make them much more easily. But don't forget, going viral looks exciting, but steady output is what actually wins. The platform favors patterns. When your videos follow a clear structure and speak to the same type of viewer, the system understands exactly who to show them to. Over time, it stops experimenting with random audiences and starts confidently sending your new uploads to people who already enjoyed the last ones. At that point, growth stops feeling random. Views become more stable. Each upload strengthens the previous one. Instead of hoping for a lucky spike, you are building momentum that stacks month after month. But none of these matters if you stay in learning mode forever. Consuming content feels productive, yet nothing changes until you publish. Your early videos will be rough. That is normal. Progress comes from repetition, not perfection. Fast forward half a year. Would you rather look back at a library of content that improved over time, or at an idea that never left your head? If this topic is not your direction, subscribe to this channel and explore other structured approaches and tutorials. Let me know in the comments which niche you want covered next. Catch you in the next one.
On the morning of September 15th, 2008, the thing that broke wasn't a bank, it was a habit. Every night, the financial system goes to sleep with a problem. Banks hold long-term things, mortgages, loans, bonds, but they owe short-term money, the kind that has to be paid back tomorrow. So every evening, trillions of dollars get borrowed overnight and repaid in the morning, against collateral, in a market almost no one outside finance has ever heard of. It's called repo. It is the circulatory system of modern money. And like circulation, you only notice it when it stops. That September morning, it stopped. Not because the assets were worthless. Most of them weren't. It stopped because lenders woke up and asked a single question they'd been too comfortable to ask for years. What is your collateral actually worth? And nobody could answer with confidence. So the money didn't move. And a system that runs on money moving discovered what happens when it doesn't. This is the part of every crisis that the documentaries skip. We remember the falling house prices, the cardboard boxes, the CEO apologies.